So today we're going to talk about section 10.3. We're going to talk about adding and subtracting our polynomials. Before we actually get into the addition and subtraction, we do want to review a little bit our distributive property. Right? So when we're thinking about our distributive property, right, our outside factor is being multiplied by both numbers inside the sum or difference. So that means if we're thinking about our distributive property, right, that number that's out front is going to be multiplied by both numbers that are inside. So we're going to take a times b plus a times c. Right, our distributive property is written here as all using plus signs, but we do just want to make sure that we're being conscious and aware of our signs as we're going through and writing out our problems. Right, what we're going to use this distributive property for, right, is finding the opposite of a polynomial. When we're finding the opposite of a polynomial, we're going to change the sign of each term in a polynomial. In other words, we're going to distribute a -1. So in this first example, we're just going to be working with our distributive property in either +1 or -1. So for a, right, if we just multiply everything by +1, well, it's not going to change. 1 times 5x is 5x. 1 times 3 is 3. Now, if we multiply everything by a -1, right, that's going to change the sign of all of our terms in there. A negative times +5x is going to give us a -5x. A -1 times +3 is going to give us a -3. Right, now, we do want to keep in mind, and especially as we're going through this section, a lot of times we're not going to see that 1 that's in there. We're just going to see a negative sign out front. Right? But if it's helpful for you, you can definitely write in a 1, because that negative sign means we're multiplying everything by -1. So negative times negative is going to give us a positive 3x squared. -1 times -2 is going to give us a positive 2x. -1 times +4 is going to give us a -4. So as we're distributing our -1, again, this last case, this is going to be the one that we're going to see in a lot of our subtraction problems. Right? We're not changing anything about our problem except for the signs of our coefficients. Right? So we're not changing our exponents, we're not doing anything else. We're just distributing that -1 that's out front, whether it's visible or invisible, right? And we're making sure that we change our signs accordingly.